I feel very happy to be back with you again with my Neuro Management video presentation. If you recall, last time we had discussed that in the primate society, the primate family are our ancestors, and the ape segment of the primate family, gorilla, chimpanzee, pygmy chimpanzee, bonobos are our immediate ancestors, right? Now in their society, they interact with other members of the group through grooming to maintain good relationship or relationship building. Now over the years, when we became humans, this grooming got converted into, according to experts, into language. So the linguistic mode of expression came, which we call the V mode or the verbal mode. Verbal mode is the linguistic expression. Now there is something very interesting. You see, for the non-verbal mode, that is the body language, the tone of the voice, the intonation, etc., there have been already neuron clusters and circuits left inside our brain. Now, where are these neurons and neuron clusters and circuits? Let me show you. This is the whole brain. This is the left brain. This is the right brain, right? And the wiring, the circuits go cross-laterally. In other words, from the left brain, the circuits are going to the right side. From the right brain, the circuits are going to the left side. So, the neurons for the body language, body parts are across this brain. For the left side, hands, fingers. For the right side, limbs, extremities, hands, fingers, the right eye, the right ear, the right half of the tongue. Space has been left on the left side of the brain, which is called motor area. The body parts which you can move, they have been allocated some space, neuron clusters and circuits in the brain. And for the left side, limbs and extremities and parts, etc., the movable parts, space has been left on the right side of the brain. Similarly, there are sensory areas across the brain. So there are neuron clusters, there are circuits devoted to the body movements and vocal cord movements, etc. Now, so I introduce here what is neuro-managed communication. Now, before I introduce, let me show a picture of these circuits. Now, this picture is taken from a very interesting book written by a British neuroscientist, and the name of the book is The 21st Century Brain. You see here, which I'm pointing out, these are the sensory areas. This is the left half of the brain. These are the sensory areas, right? And this is the right side of the brain. These are the motor areas. So you can see for hands and fingers, maximum areas have been allocated in the brain. Maximum neurons, maximum circuits. So hands and fingers are the most important parts of our movable organs, so to say. And in fact, in Russia, a scientist like me, I do not know whether he is alive or not, Dr. Rudolf Drillis, he had done massive research on these body parts, and his discovery is that every tool, like a screwdriver or a pliers or a spanner or a pair of scissors, are all extensions of our hands and fingers. So I have proposed an orchestrated form of communication which is totally neuro-managed, which takes advantage of all these verbal, means language mode, V mode, and the non-verbal, body language and tone of the voice, right? So if we miss out in modern society, the educated society, if we concentrate only on the verbal mode, what will happen? Those neurons, those circuits which are there in our brain devoted for the non-verbal, that means which is not language based, those cells will slowly be destroyed, and they will not be regenerated because there's a biological law, use me or lose me. So nature will take its toll. So I recommend an ideal cocktail of the verbal mode, V mode, and the non-verbal mode, NV mode. And I have developed a formula, very handy formula, which is very popular in the corporate circles where I teach. The formula I call KPSL. Now, where K stands for kinesics. Kinesics is the science of movements. So, how we stand, how we sit, these are postures, the whole body movements, and how we move our hands and fingers, how we move our eyes, these are all gestures. So these together make the kinesics part. Then comes the proxemics. What is proxemics? The interpersonal distance. When you talk to another person or shake hands with another person or just greet in the Indian style of namaste gesture, how much interpersonal distance you maintain or you should maintain unless you are hugging or embracing somebody. So this is proxemics. And the third is sonics. While you are speaking, you are transmitting sound energy into the environment. So what are the properties of that sound energy? Is it very loud or is it too soft? You are whispering, so that is the sonics. And then finally, linguistics. What kind of message you are using? We call it message management. With what speed you are talking? Are your messages short or too long at a stretch? What kind of words you are using? Very rude, harsh, abusive words or very sweet words? All this come under linguistics. So we will discuss the detail about this formula in our next presentation. So thank you very much for this opportunity. We'll see you very soon.